Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 8 of season 2 of the Schoolyard podcast, brought to you by School Specialty. I'm your host, Nancy Chung, a fun-loving teacher and content creator, also known as Fancy Nancy in Fifth on social media, and I'm thrilled that you're here. A special shout out to School Specialty, who offers essential educational supplies and complete learning environment solutions to help you transform more than classrooms. This is the Schoolyard Podcast, a podcast by educators for educators where the magic of learning unfolds. Incorporating holiday themes into lesson plans offers educators a unique opportunity to engage students through familiar and exciting contexts. By weaving festive elements into diverse subjects, teachers can spark curiosity and create memorable learning experiences that resonate long after the decorations come down. The beauty of this approach, it works across subjects, creating a tapestry of interconnected knowledge. We're not just teaching, we're crafting memories and building a classroom where learning feels like unwrapping a gift each day. By tapping into the excitement of the season, we transform ordinary lessons into extraordinary adventures. It's about creating an environment where the joy of the holidays intertwines seamlessly with the thrill of discovery. In doing so, we don't just decorate our classrooms, we illuminate young minds with the warm glow of engaged, enthusiastic learning. Today's guest, Carlanda Miller, also known as the Magical Teacher, is a distinguished educator with 13 years of experience across various grade levels and leadership roles. She leads nationwide professional development and delivers inspiring keynotes to students and educators. Carlanda's innovative teaching methods have earned her recognition, including being named FUSD's Elementary Teacher of the Year for the 17-18 school year, California's 2018 Celebrity Educator of the Year, finalist for FUSD's Excellence in Education for the 2021-2022, and honored as one of the Walt Disney World's 50 most innovative educators. Carlanda is also a children's book author and a Lego education ambassador, championing learning through play and inspiring creativity and critical thinking in students. Welcome to the Schoolyard, Carlanda.
Hi.
So great to have you here. Would you please tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your background in education?
Hi, everybody. So this is my 13th year in education, and I love it. So as Nancy already let you know, I've taught grades K through 6 special ed. The first half of my career was in the special ed realm, where I had SDC classroom, and then I also got to be a director of special education.
Wow.
And that was awesome. I am one of those people that love entering data and going to IEP meetings, so that was my jam. And then I love it. I love
It's
it. So
very
it's
special.
report card season right now, and I'm loving it right now.
Wow.
That makes me happy, entering data. And
Mhm.
I've taught general education, third grade, kindergarten, and now I'm in early learning. So I'm a TK teacher. So I'm the grade that prepares kids for kindergarten, and it is a lot of fun and a lot of
Wow.
work. Yeah.
Well, you know what? From your social media posts, it just comes across this, it comes through the screen. You just scream this passion and love of teaching. And, I saw you in person and you were teaching a room full of hundreds of adults and everyone was up, out of their seats, dancing and singing and doing everything you were telling them to do. And you seriously are magical. I love you. I'm like your number one fan.
Yes, I love you so much, and you already know that. I just love
Oh.
you. I appreciate that. And I do love what I do. I do. It brings me joy. And when you have those moments where you have this chill coming over your body and you're like, this is what I'm called to do. And that's actually how I got my name, the Magical Teacher.
Uh-huh.
One of my students gave it to me. It was the first day of school, maybe
Mhm.
about 6 or 7 years ago. And it was the first, and I was going over our directions, your procedures, all these things. And one of my students raised her hand, and I was like, yes, I thought she had to go to the bathroom. And
Oh.
she said, our classroom is so magical.
Oh,
and you're the magical teacher. And the whole class like went crazy. I kind of like had this moment where I was like, this is something. And then I went home and told my boyfriend, who's now my husband,
uh-huh.
what happened. And I was
Like
like,
this
what?
guy too. Uh-huh.
Right? And then I was
Uh-huh.
like, what do I do? Do I just like change my name and go and spread magic? And he was like, do it. And so
Oh,
now I go and do professional development and I spread magic, which is motivation, academic accountability, goal-driven, inquisitive thinking, and content engaging. Those are the
mhm.
5 things you need in your classroom to unlock the magic in your students.
Yeah. And I've seen you on TV on your like different
Yeah.
segments on so many different shows. And I'm like, I know her. I
Oh
know
my
her.
goodness. Yes, I
Yeah.
love it. I just love empowering other people because I think we all have something inside of us that makes us special. And you don't even know, you just really warmed my heart. This is like
Oh,
the highlight of my month. I'm so excited.
thank
I
you.
just
It's
got
like a
so
big,
much
big
love.
love fest over here.
So much love.
Yes. Okay. So, uh, I know that you love decorating your classroom with different themes. And, I just want to be in your classroom or be in your class and just learning from you. Do you have a favorite holiday or season that you celebrate with your class?
I do. I every year I do an escape room and it was created by Teacher's Brain.
Mhm.
But I just modified it for TK, and I
Mm,
don't want it to give it away, but there's a werewolf that comes
mm,
and steals our pumpkin, and the kids have to do riddles. So I just, to make it a learning moment for my TK students, I changed the riddles to where they're doing letter names and sounds match up. They're unlocking keys that have letters on them. They're drawing a jack-o'-lantern. Those are like the secret things that they have to do. So we
mhm.
do that for Halloween, and it's really fun. It kind of kickstarts the holiday season. And then for Thanksgiving, I do a Friendsgiving,
Ooh, uh-huh.
and we read books about friendship. All of our activities has to do with sharing and being kind. And we make friendship bracelets. And then at the very end, before we go on break, we have a big Friendsgiving feast where they can bring food from their culture into the classroom. So I've had kids bring tamales, kids bring egg rolls, kids bring tacos. I love all food. And we have a big feast, and I'll provide other things like pizza and, different snacks. So,
Ooh, I love that. But for
yeah.
like the winter holidays, do you do something for the winter holidays too?
Christmas, of
Yeah.
course.
Uh-huh.
I'm a Christmas baby. So, my
Mhm.
birthday's Christmas Eve. And I do have a kindness elf in my classroom. And
Ooh.
he goes around. I love kindness. Can you tell?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And because my job as an early childhood educator is to teach my students how to be humans. And so I always say that I want to give my students to the next teacher better than how I got them. So
Oh.
we talk a lot about kindness. And so I have a kindness elf that comes and give them kindness tasks. And
Mhm.
so it might be to make a letter for the principal and go give it to her in her office, or it might be say hello to every adult you see, or if you see someone sitting by themselves, go play with that person. And like he's watching and he reports back to Santa. And I do talk to my families at the beginning of the year to make sure that everyone celebrates those holidays that we do.
Mhm.
I've out of 13 years, I've only had one family that did not. And they would just not come to school, unfortunately, on those days.
Uh-huh.
But if she was there, I would modify the activity so it's not so like Santa or
Right. Mhm.
werewolf, type of thing.
To make it a lot more inclusive. Yeah.
Yes. Always want to make sure everyone feels like they're a part of our family.
That's great. So I love that you're not just decorating the classroom with all those holiday themes, but you're teaching them like special, like the real meaning behind those holidays, right? I
Yes,
love that.
absolutely.
Well, can you describe a particularly successful themed lesson that led you to have some kind of an unexpected learning outcome?
For as far as holidays,
Mhm.
that escape room is just really amazing because there's like a video that goes with it. So their reaction to seeing like the werewolf telling us the pumpkin is missing is just epic every year. And
Mhm.
then we're at this part of the year now that in about 2 more weeks for Halloween, their letter recognition is very strong, and just how proud they are that they're able to match the uppercase and lowercase letters to solve the riddles. It's a real big aha moment. So I
Mhm.
think that would be one
Mhm.
that really sticks out to me for sure.
I'm just imagining bunch of, TK students trying to
Mhm.
escape and like, getting all excited over these because
Yes,
I feel
and
like
I tell them they can't leave the room until we
uh-huh.
solve it. So I mean, they have an hour and 15 minutes because we gotta go to recess. So I'm like, come on, guys. We have to stay on the school schedule.
Yeah, well, we had Jerry Chang, Miss Chang Gifted on our podcast before, and she was talking about when she first taught kindergarten, they would get excited about everything. It's like
Oh
paper
yeah.
clip. So I could only imagine the magical feeling that they get every time you teach them something new and you see their reaction. I bet
Yeah.
that drives you to do more like fun things too, right?
It does. And that's why I try to do most of the decades. So coming up next is the 50th day of school. So I like to do 50, celebrating 50 magical days in TK with a tea party. And so
Oh,
we get all fancy and they're gonna dress up. My boys are gonna wear their bow ties and their ties, and the girls wear their gowns, and we're gonna have tea, and all the activities are tea themed.
uh-huh.
And they're standard base with letter matching, subitizing, tracing, and then at the end of the day they'll get some tea and a cookie, and and it's a lot of fun dressing up and doing something different.
You dressing up? That's kidding. For those of you who have not seen Carlanda's post, you have to hurry up and go over to Carlanda the Magical Teacher's website or your post, your Instagram and TikTok, and see the magic. I mean, head to toe, you're dressed up. So, I mean, I see your classroom and all the magic that you bring to the room, and I'm like, how can you not be super immersed in that?
You're so sweet. I
And
love it.
and of course you're extra. Like and I appreciate all the people who go above and beyond and extra extra. I'm kind of one.
It makes school more fun, right? When you have something to look forward to. It's for me and the kids to
Exactly.
have fun. I want to have something that I'm looking forward to. So I'm really looking forward to the 50th day, which is
Mhm.
in about 2 weeks, and then we have the I think I'm gonna do the 75th day this year too, because Lego is celebrating 75 years, so it'll be a Lego day.
Uh-huh.
And then the
Ooh.
80th day, always do glow day. That's it. Just you
Uh-huh.
got.
Fun. So fun. Okay, so you do a lot. How do you balance creating this immersive thematic experience with ensuring that students are meeting their core curriculum requirements?
Everything that I do is very much intentional.
Mhm.
So, I have a plan in place where I know what standards I'm going to be hitting for that day, so I know what I want my students to be practicing to gain what info, and then I know what I'm looking for while they are immersed in this experience. So you can't just have a glow day and turn off the lights and put a blue light on and some glow sticks. You need to make sure that the activity is aligned to a standard. So each table will have something there that's academic based, but also fun. The kids they think it's amazing because the lights are off, like, oh, but in reality, they're working on letter recognition and letter sounds. They're working on fine motor skills. They're working on language skills in the sensory table. They're working on hand-eye coordination, the muscles in their hands, and building things. You have to always make sure that when you're planning something, it's aligned. So my principal, she just lets me do my magic because I'm able to produce the results
Yes. Yeah,
because
yeah.
it has a meaning. Like everything is intentional.
Hmm. Right. And I think because you are able to produce, the results, you have the freedom to do that because then administration will be like, we fully trust you. You know what you're doing. You're making, kids learn and, like, I don't want to say tricking, but making them
I
love.
am. It's
But I
magic.
know they think everything, but they're learning, right? Yeah. It's all
Yes.
not
I've
just,
already had well, because I'm some of their first teacher, and one of my students came to me. He knew 0 letters,
Mhm.
and our report cards are due, and he knows 17 letters now, girl.
Wow.
Get
Wow.
it?
Wow.
So I'm seeing the results, and it's because also it's a partnership, and I make sure I'm working with my parents and I'm giving them tips on how they can work with their kids at home as well.
Oh, that's great. Now, because we have a lot of parents who listen to the show, who listen
Ooh,
to our podcast, not just teachers, and everyone's always looking for resources. So,
mhm.
are there any resources that you would recommend to support your either holiday themed lesson plans or, any thematic things, any tools or websites or blogs that you'd recommend that
For
are amazing,
holidays,
particularly helpful?
I think you can get a lot of resources off of, I don't know, do parents shop on TPT? Is that a thing for them?
I think you could.
They
Yeah.
can. They
Mhm.
can make a on Teachers Pay Teachers, they have a lot of interesting things on there. But you can even go simpler than that. If it's like Halloween based, you can create bats with clay and at home working on your fine motor skills. I think the number one resource that parents really can reach out to is their teacher. The teacher is someone that has a lot of resources that they can give you. Yeah.
Okay. And for like beginning teachers who are either teaching TK or at any grade level, I always, say, hey, Instagram and TikTok are like some of the best
Yes. Oh,
resources,
yeah.
best PD, right? So I
Yeah.
said, search your hashtags and find your teacher that you want to follow for whatever topic or whatever subject or grade level. And you just get all these free ideas from them, right? And
Yes,
it'll
absolutely.
yeah.
Now, if we're talking about just academics,
Mhm.
yes, you can go on Instagram. There's a lot of awesome things on TikTok.
Mhm.
I would recommend if parents that you really build the muscles in your hand, that your students' hands before you put a pencil in their hand and just
Mhm.
Play-Doh, clay, a lot
Mhm.
of tracing. But even before you think of academics, send your students to school able to button their pants, do their lunch, their breakfast, be able to take care of themselves. That would really help.
Mhm.
And talk to them about there it is again, being kind, just being
Oh,
kind to others and sharing. And that's what we need. It's that social emotional piece more than the academics, I think.
yes. Yeah, it's like what comes first, right? Like you have to start with that, and then everything else will fall into place.
Physical education can help strengthen your students' confidence, develop social skills, improve cognitive health, and so much more. That's why Sport Time brings you products and resources to help them build healthy habits for life. Sport Time, available only at schoolspecialty.com.
Introducing the new Sharpie Creative Marker. Paint like ink that draws on wood, metal, glass, ceramic, canvas, paper, rock, almost anything. Guaranteed to never bleed. 12 vivid colors that pop on light and dark surfaces. With the new Sharpie Creative Marker, the world is your canvas. To learn more, visit schoolspecialty.com/Sharpie.
And we're back. What kind of strategies do you use to respectfully incorporate diverse cultural perspectives when teaching about holidays that may not be celebrated by all students? I know you mentioned this before, but you have a very diverse group of student body as well, right? So how do you kind of meet the needs of your diverse students?
Well, I tell them that the world is made up of a lot of different people
Mhm.
and that it's really important that we learn about everyone and their cultures. And I also reach out to families and they can come. We used a creative curriculum in my classroom at my district. And so
Mhm.
it really heavily encourages us to invite parents in to speak and share their knowledge with the class as well.
Mhm.
So, and having guest speakers as well. So that's a
Love
strategy.
that. Kids love that too, huh?
They love it. I also, like at the beginning of the school year, I had the cafeteria workers come in. the principal, the vice principal, the librarian, all these different people come and meet the class and they're just like, whoa, this is so cool.
Mhm.
So I think also talking about how everyone's different and how that's okay to be different, and being different is what makes us all, special.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
making sure that my students see themselves in every book that we have. So I don't really like using a lot of books with the characters are like animals. I like
Mhm.
to use books where the kids can see themselves,
Uh,
um, and they can see the culture in the books. And
yes.
so my library is very diverse as well. It matches the kids that are in my room and the kids that are not even in my room.
I love that because representation definitely matters. When students see themselves in books, they just feel so special and they feel very seen and validated. And something I love doing is tapping into our community. We have such a wealth of resources from our parent population. So, if there are holidays that I'm not too familiar with, such as like Diwali or even like Lunar New Year, like I know all the different Asian cultures celebrate Lunar New Year differently. So, I love tapping into our community, having parents come in with costumes and foods and different resources to teach about that holiday and let them just shine. We always learn so much, and they love coming in and being part of their child's classroom. And other students love it because, they don't want to hear from their same old teacher all the time. But it's so refreshing and so educational, and I love that. Okay, so Carlanda, I know you're super busy, but among your busy schedule, you wrote a book and had it published. Would you please share with our listeners what your book is all about?
Yes. So I have a children's book and it is called My Magical Teacher. And it's
Mm-hmm.
a book about a teacher I know very well. It's a book about me.
Uh-huh.
But it's a book and there's this boy talking to another boy at school and he's like, have you ever heard of my magical teacher? And he's telling the other boy that's not in that class all the things that we do in the classroom. And it's basically talking about how teachers go above and beyond, each and every one of us. Even if you're not sharing what you're doing on Instagram, on social media, this is a tough job and we pour so much into it. And at the very end of the book, I'm going to spoil it for you. He tells um he tells the boy, I bet your teacher makes you feel this way too, because we all have something magical inside of us. And it's
Uh-huh.
because our job, which is a very tough job, is to unlock the magic in our students. And it shows, the magical teacher at the zoo, and it shows them, drawing and all these different things that teachers do all day long, all the things that we have to do. So the book is really dedicated to teachers and all the things that we do every single day. So yeah, I
Oh,
hope you guys like it.
I love that. Okay. So we talked about dressing, like you being a little extra, you dressing up, and you creating this magical moment in your classroom. What was the most outrageous costume or classroom decoration you've ever created in your classroom, and how did that impact your student engagement?
Oh, that's a tough one. I have a closet of costumes.
Every color.
Um, let's see. Every year my students draw. I will say this. This is one of my favorite things I didn't mention earlier. Every year one of my students draw what they would like me to be for Halloween,
Ah,
and I
I do
pick
that too.
one.
Great. Uh-huh.
And I actually buy the outfit and reveal it and everything. And so that's one of my favorite things. The hardest one that I ever did, I will say, was 2 years ago. I picked the Little Mermaid and I made my hair red. And that
Oh,
took me weeks to get that red out. So that was
wow.
kind
And
of
so it's not
dramatic.
even a wig, you actually dyed your hair, you colored your
I
hair red.
sprayed it red,
Wow.
and
Wow.
wore it down. And my hair is really heavy and long. So
Long, yeah.
yes,
Oh, wow. But I bet the student just felt so
they
special.
loved
It
it.
was their idea. Oh,
Mhm.
that's
So
awesome.
we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. Actually, this class will be drawing what they think what they predict I'll be.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
do that every year too, and I actually do choose one. But
mhm.
this year I really want to like I have something in mind, but I don't know if so I don't know. Like so I'm like I that's my tradition. I always ask the students and pick from there. I'm like,
You
hopefully
gotta
one
just
of my
talk about
students
it. Talk about what you want a lot. That's how you think
yeah.
those kids came up with the Little Mermaid? They're 4 years old. I was like, I sure love The Little Mermaid. Showing the book, talking about it, and then they're like, oh,
Oh,
maybe she should be The Little Mermaid.
mind controlled. Okay.
Magic.
All right. This is a little bit of a creative question. Well, you have to be creative. If you had to create a brand new holiday, what would it be called and what traditions would you invent for it?
Ooh, a brand new holiday. And
Mhm.
is it a holiday? I have questions about this. Is it a holiday that we are in school?
Um, yes. Let's make it school related.
School holiday.
School holiday. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I think it would be fun if it was like a national pick your own class day.
Oh.
And the kids got to pick what class they wanted to go to for that day.
Oh. Any grade level?
Mhm. Like, because
Ooh.
they don't know. Like,
Mhm.
imagine a sixth grader wanting to go back to kinder and like do
Oh.
whatever. I mean, obviously, we're not going to teach the content. Like, so then also, because it's my holiday,
Mhm.
it's anything goes. So, like, in the classroom, they're just like learning through play at that age level. I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking building blocks, like taking it old school, where it's just kind of like social emotional learning. So, it would be a holiday of, we'll call it National Switch Day.
Ooh,
Like
that's
you
very
could just go to any classroom and the whole school's open. Okay, I'm taking it there because you said I could. The whole school's open. There's fun stuff in every class. Every class is themed. Do
Mhm.
you see what's going on in my mind? There's
Uh-huh.
bounce houses outside. Follow me now. There's nachos. Nachos are for lunch. The good kind
Oh my
with
God.
sour cream and chili too. Ooh, I
Okay, we
love
talked
this holiday.
I know we talked about all the yummy foods. I mean, I always see your posts about like all the amazing things your mom makes you. I'm
Yes,
like, I want in too.
yes, you're so far, but if you ever come to Fresno, she would definitely cook for you. She's making
Yes.
me chow mein and egg rolls today.
Oh wow. I think I saw tacos the other night.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. See, I'm
It
getting
was
all
so
excited when we
good.
talk about food. You started with nachos and I was like,
Ah,
put
can
on
you
a
imagine though? Like, because when I was little,
Mhm.
nacho days on Fridays was everything. And they used to give us red vines. Remember you buy the red vines?
Oh,
Or maybe
uh-huh.
it's just my school.
Oh,
But you don't want to miss nacho day.
oh.
So, what about you?
Ooh, that's a good. Oh gosh. Ooh, I've
And you
been
didn't tell me your holiday. I didn't forget. You got to have a
okay.
holiday.
I'm a December baby too. I'm December 30th. So Christmas is my favorite holiday, but I do love dressing up. So I love Halloween too. So I don't know. Like,
No, you have to make your own holiday like I did.
oh my
Hmm.
gosh. Oh, see, I wasn't expecting to answer one, but it would be some kind of a holiday where I think everyone's unique characteristic is like some kind of a unique quality that's being celebrated.
I
So
love
like something with diversity, something with celebrating everyone's uniqueness.
unique
Lots of
day.
food. I don't know.
Lots of food.
Yeah,
Ooh.
lots of different
And then
food.
on your day, look at me taking over. On your day, it'll be rainbow food. Like all the food will be in rainbow order.
Yes,
Can you imagine? Like a buffet.
I would love that.
Let's make that
Okay.
happen.
Okay, so one more crazy but fun question. We
Mhm.
have a segment on our podcast called Tag Your It, where our listeners write in with a question and our guests answer it. And our question comes from Cami D, and her question is, and I think, well, this is perfect for you. Okay. Which Disney character are you
Oh,
most like? Why or how? Like, I know you dress up as villains and princesses and all sorts of different like Disney characters. Which one do you most resonate with?
I would say, see, I know this one. I would say I am most like Princess Tiana. And I would say I'm most like her because I always make things happen like she does. She works
Mm.
really, really hard each and every day, just
Um,
like in her song. But she works really, really hard, and she made it happen for herself. And I feel like I'm the same. The first high school and college graduate in my family, so I know what it's like to work really, really, really hard. And what people see is you guys see the magic, but you don't see what goes behind that, the sleepless hours, the getting at school at 5 a.m. to set this stuff up. And so, but I do it because I dig deep, like, oh my goodness, gotta dig a little deeper. Just like Tiana said, you dig deeper and you pull the magic out of you. So I think I am most like Princess Tiana.
Oh, I love your answer. Oh, okay. So when you were presenting at the conference that I was, at watching you, I happened to be sitting next to your husband, and he was just watching you with these like googly eyes, and he
Oh
was
my
like so proud of you. And I'm like, is she always that energetic and always so passionate? And he's like, yep, that's her, And I'm like, you must just sleep well at night. You must
Oh,
pass
I
out
do.
so much energy.
Yes, I'm like an old lady. I'm in bed by like 8 o'clock.
Oh my God.
Yes, I get my sleep, and
Oh,
and I love sleep. It's my one of my favorite things. But
oh,
I wake up like this, and my husband be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!
mhm.
It's so early." I'm like, "But I'm so excited. This is me,
Always
24/7."
singing, dancing. I love
Yeah.
it. I hope you never change. I could just even picture you as like an 80-year-old grandma doing the same thing, dancing and
Right.
singing and with all the colorful clothes. I love it. Okay, well, Carlanda, thank you so much for being an amazing guest on the Schoolyard. It was wonderful. It was magical, truly magical having you. So thank you so much.
You.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Schoolyard Podcast. Remember to pack your curiosity and meet us back in the schoolyard for our next episode. Tag, you're it. It's your turn to write in with a question, which we will answer here on the Schoolyard Podcast for our segment called Tag, You're It. Tag us on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, or Twitter at School Specialty and hashtag Schoolyard Tag Your It with a question that you want answered. One question will be selected per episode to be answered by our featured guest and myself. If your question is chosen to be answered on the podcast, we'll send you a very special Schoolyard Podcast t-shirt. Class dismissed.